Let's bring in Democratic member of both the House Oversight and Armed Services Committees, Congressman Ro Khanna of California. He represents Silicon Valley and is the author of the new book entitled Dignity in the Digital Age, Making Tech Work for All of Us. Congressman, what can we learn from Europe about bringing accountability and safety to social media and big tech?
Well, Europe, with the Digital Service Act, has done some very common sense things, such as banning ads that are targeted at children, such as making sure that these companies disclose their algorithms. So we know if Facebook is targeting eating disorder ads to teenagers, they have to disclose that, and those practices should be banned, such as banning ads targeting people based on their race or religion. There are efforts in Congress to do it. Frankly, we have been asleep at the wheel too long. We need to get it done, and we should look to the Digital Services Act.
So what's the possibility of that happening? This sounds like one of these deals that a lot of people talk about, suggesting that they like it, and then nothing ever gets done. What's the chance it could pass the House, a version of it could pass the Senate, and President Biden could sign it?
Joe, I appreciate and understand your frustration and skepticism. I mean, you've been talking about this for over a year. There has been progress. President Biden spoke about it as something bipartisan in the State of the Union. Senator Blumenthal has a bill in the Senate that's moving. I'm working with Representative Schakowsky, who's on the relevant Energy and Commerce Committee, on a companion bill. This needs to get done. It actually has bipartisan support, and we need to get it to the president's desk. There is movement over the last few months.
Congressman, do you have any thoughts, concerns, just reaction to Elon Musk buying Twitter?
Why would he want the job? Why would anyone want to be running Twitter where half the country is going to hate you no matter what you decide? I guess my advice, if he asks me for it, would be learn from Zuckerberg. When he was making all the decisions, he got into trouble. Now he has this oversight board. It's still not fully independent, but it's better than nothing. You know, when Jeff Bezos bought the Washington Post, he's not sitting there deciding whether my editorial gets published. So create some independence, so you're not making the decisions at the very least.
Congressman, you also sit on armed services. This $33 billion package rolled out and announced yesterday by the White House comes with a few political complications, as we've been talking about all morning. I know Democrats want some COVID relief in there. Republicans want Title 42 to remain in place as part of that deal. Are you confident that at least the $33 billion will get where it needs to go when it needs to get there?
Yes, we need to do it. I mean, look, Russia is going to have a brutal war. Look at what they did in Syria. They're not just going to disappear. They're engaged in sieges and bombardment. They're out there for possibly months, years. And so we have to recognize their brutality and the threat and get the Ukrainians the aid they need. We also need to do the COVID relief. You know, I'll be blunt. I was back home in my district and someone came up and said, Congressman, I'm concerned about the midterms. I said, I was too. He said, you guys are out there talking too much about Ukraine. You're not focused enough on my needs, on prices going up, on COVID. So I think we have to do the $33 billion on the Ukraine relief, but we also have to focus on making sure people have vaccines and boosters, and we're tackling prices and meeting the domestic needs.
All right, Congressman Ro Khanna, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Let's